Hey y'all, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Wildflower Tea, and today we have the amazing LB. How are you? I'm glad
I'm
you're on
doing
your
good.
main channel because I was like the bash chat and this and that, but how are you?
I'm doing good. Doing good. Just, taking care of kids and trying to stay in the know to everything that's been going on because there's been a lot going on with reality TV and all of that. So,
Oh my good. And I don't know about you because I know you do true crime as well. So for me, I had strep throat for a couple of weeks. So I missed a lot and I've been trying to play catch up every since. And a lot has happened in the last week or two. A lot has happened.
yeah.
So we're going to be talking about a couple of different topics tonight, you guys, and just kind of catching up. I'm going to be kind of catching up with y'all. But so the first thing, let me say hey to everybody real quick before I just hop into it. Sorry, you guys. And I'm sorry I'm late. It's every single time I go live, last minute, everything will just go crazy on me. Um, I apologize, you guys had to wait a minute. Um, hey, Mama Three, how are you? Welcome, welcome. I hope you guys are having a good week. Hey, Lulu. Let me see here. Jane, hello. How's everybody doing? I hope you guys are having a good Tuesday. I thought it was Wednesday all day until literally this evening.
That's so
So
wild.
that kind of lets you know where my head's been.
We skipped our stream. We skipped our
Mhm.
collab.
I know. That was the only reason I remembered was because of the collab, or I would. But when I got up this morning, for some reason, I thought it was Wednesday.
I did
Um,
that. I did that last week on my birthday, which was
oh,
crazy. Last
word.
Thursday was my birthday, and I
Hmm.
woke up knowing it was my birthday because everybody's like, "Happy birthday, Mama! Happy birthday!" So
Yeah.
I thought it was Wednesday, even though I
Hmm.
knew that my birthday was on Thursday. All day I thought it was Wednesday, and I missed a dentist appointment for my son.
Oh, that's right. I remember. I seen your thing about it.
And I was like, I don't know why I did that.
I'm the worst for it, girl. And I will remember the day before an appointment or the day, like that night. I'll remember me and the hubby will talk about it and I'll say, don't let me forget tomorrow at such and such time. And then every time I'm there with minutes to spare, or I have to call and say, hey, I'm coming.
It's like a
I get
running
it.
joke in my family that I'm late to everything because
Me too.
I mean I have 6 kids, it's hard to come ready.
Yeah.
But my cousin actually posted this picture and it says, name the person that's gonna be late in your family and you win $5,000 or $500,000. Like the one person's going to be late to everything. And she named me, and everybody's like, "Yep, yep, yep, yep." And I'm like, "I know it. My bad."
I'm the same way. And it don't help because my husband ain't no better. If you have someone that kind of levels you out, it's different, but we're both really bad. So it's just
Yeah.
like, we'll show up.
So
We're going to be there. I just don't know when exactly.
my family's even gotten to where they'll tell me that things start a little bit earlier.
Yeah.
Yeah, they'll be like, I'll be like, "What time are we having Easter?" And they'll be like, "At 5," but really it'll be at 6. You know, and I'm
That's
still
funny.
getting there, still getting there, like right in the nick of time. I'm like, I know, I'm sorry, my bad.
Right. Okay, you guys. So we have some Team Mom drama that we're going to kind of get into. And LB is my girl for the Team Mom stuff. We're also going to talk about Christine Brown and her new man in a little bit and a couple of different little topics like that. But when it comes to Ryan Edwards, I feel like it has been this thing with him for a while now where he's constantly being talked about in a negative way because of his actions, and it sucks, but at the same time it's like I don't know about you, you can tell me what you think, but for the longest time I kind of, before Mackenzie came into the picture, I always there was a part of me that wanted him and Mackenzie to work it out so bad because I felt like Mackenzie leveled him out a lot. And then when they separated is when he really went downhill. And it's like he would try to get on his feet and almost get there and then back down every single time. And it
Yeah.
was sad to see because
Mhm.
with, you know, I don't know, I just felt like with Macy, she leveled them out a little bit more. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah. Well, Macy
So
was very mature for her age already. And even though she got pregnant at a young age, she was very mature. She had her head on straight. She knew what she wanted to do. And her having a baby just threw a little bit of a monkey wrench in it, but she still knew what she wanted to do. And
Right.
she got pregnant
Yeah.
by Ryan. I mean, I think she loved him, but she wanted to do the right thing and,
Yeah.
settle down, get married. I mean, I remember watching Teen Mom and Macy going to school, then going to get her son and going home and sitting there doing her homework as Bentley's, in his little walker or laying down and, Ryan coming in and she's saying, can you feed him because I'm going to finish my schoolwork? And he was saying, no, no, I'm not
Yeah.
going to do it. I mean, he was really, she tried. I have to give it to her. Macy really tried. And I think obviously because they had the child, because they had,
Yeah.
she tried so hard to have that little family or whatever. But Ryan just was not ready to settle down in that.
No, no, and now it's like, he's older and everything, but you could just tell he reminds me of this person I know in my actual life that was a good guy and everything, but he just really struggled. He just
Uh,
struggled from the time he was a young adult on up with, addiction and all these things that take a play into it. And we've seen it unfold with Ryan, and it's sad because, like I said, every time that you can tell that he's really trying, and then something happens to where he ends up backsliding. And i think I think that he genuinely wants to be a good dad and a good husband and all these things, but he's got a lot of issues that he deals with that kind of makes that hard for him.
I think Jen and Larry are good people. They're
Yes.
great grandparents. Their one fault for me is they enable Ryan, and they tend to choose Ryan over anything else. But
Yeah.
Ryan is their only child. I
Yep.
have 6 children, and I try to put myself in that position. If this was my only child who is struggling with addiction, how would I handle this? And as a parent, it would be really difficult to just throw your child out and say, sink or swim. Sorry. And I'm one of those people, and I know not everybody agrees with me, but I am one of those people that believes addiction is a disease. I
Yes.
wholeheartedly believe that addiction is a disease. And
Me
I
too.
kind of went back and forth with people online, like about this. People saying, no, you choose it, you choose it. But I know so many people that didn't choose it. I know
Right.
so many people that started taking pain meds because they were going to the doctor and they broke a arm or a leg or they
Yes,
had
ma'am.
something where they were put on pain meds and they had no idea that it was addicting. No
Right.
one told them that it was addicting, and or they were in pain management for X, Y, and Z. And next thing you know, 6 to 8 months into it, they're realizing, oh my God, if I don't take this medicine, I'm not well. I'm feeling this way. And so let me just continue to take the medicine because I can't be unwell today. I got to work. I got to attend to my
Yeah.
kids. So
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? I wholeheartedly believe that addiction is a disease. It's in my family. I've seen it. I don't think I know a family. I don't think I know one family that addiction has not.
Been affected in some way. Yeah,
Right.
I
Right.
agree. I agree. Even if it's a friend or whatever, I agree. I think that addiction affects everyone in different ways, of course, and there's similarities, but I definitely agree. I think it's a disease as well. I talk about it a little bit on my own channel. I've had my own struggles, and
Mhm.
I definitely did not ever think that I would be an addict. So
Right.
um I definitely do. And mental health and addiction goes hand in hand. So I think that that's the thing with Ryan too. You could tell for all of these years, teenager on up, as we've watched him grow, that he really just he struggles.
Mhm.
So tell me, give me a back. I've seen some stuff today, but give me a backstory on what is going on here. I know Mackenzie has recently spoken out about him. So what is this? What is it about?
So, okay, what's crazy is Dr. B from the show Family Reunion. She spoke out about 2.5, 3 weeks ago, saying that she was really proud of Ryan and Mackenzie because she had worked with them and they were doing a lot better in their co-parenting. That Ryan really stepped up and she was really proud of him, right? So I'm like, that's great because we haven't heard anything bad about Ryan. He hasn't gotten arrested. Everything's been good. Maybe he's really doing better. Maybe getting away from the show was what he needed,
Right.
because can you imagine being an addict and having the whole world
Oh
judge
my,
and
there's
trying to
no
stay
way.
sober? You
There's
know,
no way.
I
No
mean,
way.
with all your faults that you already have, and then you're on
Hmm.
a TV show every week where you got to see what people's, nitpicking your life about,
Yeah.
how that could obviously cause you to relapse. So I thought, that's probably great that he got away from the show. Dr. B speaking out saying that he's doing better. Literally, like days after Dr. B speaks out, we find out that he got arrested. No, I'm like, what? He got arrested? So then, not only did he get arrested, but when he got arrested, he had drugs on him. He had what they, and I'm going to say allegedly what they believe because, well, I'm not going to go into my own story, but they believe that he had heroin and cocaine on him,
Oh
um,
my
and
goodness.
paraphernalia. So that was a shock because I thought, no, we haven't heard anything from him. No news is good news, when it comes
Yeah.
to, no news is good news. And then Dr. B said he was doing great. So then my main focus when I saw the arrest was what I saw with the drugs. Like what? And then I started reading and realized that it was serious. Like this situation is serious. He got
Yeah.
arrested for harassing his wife Mackenzie, and I'm like, how did this happen? How do you like what happened? So allegedly Mackenzie's been dealing with Ryan for the past few months. She said for the past few months it's gotten abusive. That he has, screamed at her in front of the kids, not allowed her to leave, um, pinned her up against the wall in the hallway, and things like this. So I think from all the articles that I'm reading, it started a couple months ago, and it seems like Ryan got paranoid. The Mackenzie may have been cheating on him.
Right.
He's
That's
not
what I
shown any
think.
evidence.
And this is it. If I'm not mistaken, is this not the first time he's tried to put that accusation on her or something like that? Like she's talking like it's her fault that he does so bad. Like, has he not made those types of little comments
Now,
before?
usually he blames Macy. Usually he blames Macy.
Yeah,
Macy is his trigger. Don't talk about Macy.
I've heard. Yeah, that's right. That's right. I don't know why I get them mixed up sometimes, but so Mackenzie is his wife, and how
Mhm.
many kids do they have? Two.
They have two together.
That's what I thought. Okay. And so she came out, what timeline do you think? A couple of weeks ago, months?
Well, the arrest came out last week, I think it was,
Last week. Okay.
early last week, or maybe late the week before.
Oh my
Um,
goodness.
he hasn't necessarily like spoken out, but a lot of things have come out. Like the police report come out, the 911 call, the son got it, and they like transcribed it. So we
Yeah.
were able to kind of figure out what was happening. To my knowledge, I don't think now she did post on Instagram for the first time since all this happened, basically just saying nobody knows the weight of what she's carrying.
Right. Yeah. But she's not went into like detail or made a statement on it.
She hasn't. The only
Okay.
statements that we're getting from her is from the police report.
Oh my
That
goodness.
the son has gotten a hold of the
It's
police
so
report.
sad. It's so
Yeah.
sad. And then
Mhm.
on her end, like just trying to put myself in her shoes, it's like she's dealing with all of this stuff. She had no choice but to go and protect herself, protect her kids. But in a way, she's still trying to protect Ryan too, because she's not going to go to social media and scream all these things. I think she genuinely loves him and wants him to get better. And it's so sad that that picture that I just popped up was that his mugshot from this
It
previous time.
was. Yep, that's his most
That's what
recent.
I thought. That's what I thought. And he looks rough. I hate it. I really do. Because you can tell, like, with Ryan, we've seen him go through these different phases where he just looks, you can tell when he is really going through it. You
He
can
looks
just tell.
lost. He looks
Yeah.
like a lost soul. Like he just looks
In
like a
his
lost soul.
eyes.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
His eyes are like, oh, it's just,
Mhm.
it's sad. It's a really sad situation.
Yeah.
Um, but so I was reading an article today about it, trying to catch up on a lot of this, and I had seen something about him being affiliated to a motorcycle gang or something.
Yeah, so it seems like throughout their back and forth, um, he posted online that she had cheated. He posted that photo of her with the leather jacket, and you can kind of see the cleavage. And he posted that to his social media, calling her really nasty names, saying that she cheated on him and that she's just calling her all kind of nasty names. So it was the day that that happened, or the next day. She was at work, and he called her and he said, "Some people's going to be going to visit you, and you need to lie to them. You need to lie to them. I'll take the beating, because if you tell them the truth, they're going to beat you up." And she's like, "What are you talking about? Like, who's coming to my work?" And he said, "My friends from this motorcycle situation."
Oh my
Yeah.
goodness.
So he's telling her, he's like, "I joined it last Friday." And he said the black, and he didn't go any further to what the name of this group is. Um,
Right.
but he's basically, and then he tells her, though, he says, "So just be honest with me. Tell me what you've done. Tell me what you've done. Like, I need to know. If you're honest with me, then I'll try to stop them, and I'll just let them beat me up." The
Oh
one
my God.
Yeah, the way that I took this is he's paranoid and he thinks she may have cheated, but he doesn't know for sure, which is why he's still saying, "Tell me, tell me, tell me what you've done. Tell me what you've done. Please admit to it. Please admit to it." And she's like, "I didn't do anything. I didn't do anything." So he's saying that because, from my understanding, because he posted this publicly, this gang that he's affiliated with now, they're like,
Yeah.
"Oh, we don't allow our wives to disrespect the men in our gang, so we're going to go talk to her. And if she admits that she cheated on you, we'll rough her up." So he's basically saying, "Lie to them, tell them that you didn't. They'll come back to me and they'll accuse me of lying about it, and they can beat me up, but that's okay. I'll take the beating. But I
Oh,
do need to," yeah, that's like what
it's
I think he's trying to say here.
yeah.
Like, you
Oh
lie, say you didn't do it, but tell me if you did. Tell me if you did. And she's like,
yeah.
"I don't know what you're talking about. Who's coming here?" And she recorded this whole phone call, and she played it for the police that later that day. And that's how she was able to get a restraining order on him, because she played that phone call. And they got their RO. And the next day, Ryan called her dad and was like,
Oh
"Tell
no.
Mackenzie I'm coming to the house to, tell Mackenzie I'm coming to the house to get my stuff. She needs to leave." But that violated his RO, because he wasn't supposed to contact anybody,
Right.
have anything to do with her. So,
And didn't he do this with Macy once before or something? So he seems to struggle with following the law in that aspect.
yeah,
Um, I seen this. Pamela Kaiser said Jen is devastated. I'm sure Larry is dying to get to the sun. I'm I'm sure, because I know that the media in general, they are not fans of the media. That I do know, and they've spoken out about it so many different times. But this is on another level, and this is their only child, and it's so difficult to talk about, I think, because there's and I'm sure for you it's difficult, because there's one side of you where it's like, okay, this stuff is happening, I'm going to report on this, but it's also literally watching this person, like fall apart, just completely
yeah.
fall apart.
That's
And
why
that's
I try
always,
to be very, I try to keep it in mind that we're talking about,
yeah,
and this
yeah,
could be, God forbid, if, you know, somebody could talk about me in that way. So I always try to keep in mind that this is a real family. This is really their son. This is really Bentley's dad. He's got children. So I do try to keep that in mind, because
yeah,
it's a
yeah.
real family that we're talking about.
Oh yeah, I do the same thing with anybody that I cover. I try to just think of, like, if this was me, or just keep it in the forefront. Like, these are real people, and even though half of the stuff we see on TV is dramatized and all these
Right.
things, they do go through real situations too.
Yeah.
So, but has Jen and Larry said anything about this, or do you know?
No, I haven't seen them say anything. No, they usually, so Jen and Larry, well, Larry and Mackenzie and Ryan all usually speak out to the son a good bit.
Yeah,
That's like their go to, that's the outlet they will talk to.
yeah,
I checked earlier to see if there was anything else out about this, and there's nothing else about this. But yep, Jen did make Larry promise not to go to the media again. Now, Ryan did speak to the son. So the first time Ryan accused Mackenzie of cheating, this one day, so he posted it like, um, "You're not who I thought you were. God showed me the truth, even though I didn't want to see it." Like, so he accused her of cheating on one day. And the very next day, he took it down. And he even went to her Instagram and told her, take wife out of your bio. You're not
Oh
a wife.
my
Yeah, he
goodness.
went to a picture of them on her Instagram, of them at happier times. Actually, one of the photos that I think you showed a while ago, he went to that photo on her Instagram and he said, "Take wife out of your bio. Um, I want nothing to do with you." What kind of wife goes out to bars, gets drunk, and goes home with men? Um,
It's so awful. And she's been so good to him. Like it's heartbreaking. It's just a heartbreaking situation altogether. And I cannot imagine what she's going through because it would just be it would be a difficult situation. You not only have to continue taking care of your family, but you're at the same time though, this has been the cycle with Ryan for a long time. So I'm sure that it never gets easier, no, but they're no stranger to it.
right.
It just seems to be getting worse and even like more dangerous and scarier each and every time. And that's where it's terrifying, you know.
Yeah,
But I had seen the one thing I did see now, and maybe you know a little bit more of the timeline with this. When I was looking and doing research, I had seen that he had posted a selfie recently.
yeah.
I guess just showing that I think his intentions was to say, yeah, I'm back. Look at me. I look good. You know what I mean? Let me move this real quick. And and so he took this picture and he does look good in the picture, you know, like he looks like he fixed his hair and stuff, but people were really talking about the the environment around the photo. And I do got a more like zoomed in picture. Hold on a second. Let me see here.
Well, one thing that I noticed from this picture while you're looking for the zoomed in picture, but he looks good. He cleaned up, looks like he took a shower, washed himself up, and fixed his hair. And but his hands are swollen.
That's I see that. And you know what? I did not realize that until you just said it,
Yeah.
honestly. Here's the more zoomed in one. My computer's being a little slow. Um, hold on a second.
Now they said that Ryan had damaged the house, so I'm wondering if
Mhm.
that's why his hands are swollen, due to maybe punching the walls and stuff in the house. So
That would make
they're
sense. That
swollen.
would make sense. Here's a more close-up photo, and you can really see it there, but you can see he's got like this mess around him. And hey, I'm not judging nobody for mess. You guys, my house is it don't look like that. No shade or nothing, but my house is lived in. But
Right.
the thing that people were really focused on is the fact that he has a gun magazine on his bathroom counter,
Hmm.
and that is very strange.
Yeah. Well, especially considering he just got arrested for harassment,
Yeah, yeah.
and things like
That's
that.
absolutely. And um it's just kind of strange because he's no stranger to social media or anything like that. So he I don't know. I just question like is he not aware of the fact that people are going to see that, you know? Or was it done intentionally to like send a message to people? I
Mhm.
don't know, but it's very obvious that that's what it is. And a lot of people were calling it out and just the environment itself, but yeah, and you can see in this photo a lot better too. His hand does look swollen. Now I can't zoom in or nothing, but you can tell that it looks his hand looks swollen to me. It
Mhm.
does. Um, but so I seen that today, and I don't know. He's got this very erratic behavior recently, and I can't even say necessarily recently. It just seems to be more so because he's kind of always been a little erratic, you know. Um, but I don't know. It's just a crazy situation altogether. And that's going to be your first picture back saying, "Hey, I'm back." And
Oh,
that's
gut wrenching here. And a dirty cabinet wherever, like, I'm like, as soon as I seen it, I'm like zooming in, looking at the countertop because a
yeah.
lot of times people with addictions, if they post a photo in the bathroom, they might have accidentally forgot to remove something. So
Yeah.
I'm like
Yeah.
immediately zoomed in, and then I look at the comments, and that's what everybody's doing. Like everybody's saying, like, who all else just got finished zooming in on the countertop, and I'm like,
Yeah.
me here, I did it. Um, And yeah, one thing that he left on there for some weird, really weird reason is the magazine to a gun. I'm like, dude, you just got arrested for, like, are you even supposed to have guns?
I don't think, see, and I don't know, so I can't say, but I would think not. I would think that that's probably something they would frown upon with all of the stuff he's got going on. Now, I don't know, if it's the law, I don't know. But I don't think it's a good look for sure. I don't think that they, because wherever you have a gun magazine, there's a gun to go with that. So it's just dangerous. And with all of this information coming out with his alleged association with a motorcycle gang, and he's been threatening his harassing his wife, threatening his wife, doing all these dangerous actions, and to know he has a gun,
Mhm.
that's scary. That is a scary
Yeah.
situation. Now, I don't know, do you know if that picture's in their home, Mackenzie and
Yeah,
Ryan's
I think
home?
that's, I think, well, I took it as being in their home.
Yeah,
That's what I assumed,
yeah.
because I would assume probably Mackenzie and her kids left because they had the home together, and she probably was terrified that he would continue coming back. But Mackenzie did tell the police that he has several guns. Whenever she called the police at one point, and they said, we want to come over and listen to the audio, and she said, I don't feel safe here, can I meet you somewhere in town? And they said okay. And they asked, does Ryan have any weapons? And she said yes. And then Mackenzie's dad called the cops during one instance where Ryan and Mackenzie were fighting. Mackenzie was able to get a hold of her dad and tell him that it was not good at the house and that Ryan wasn't letting her leave. So the
Oh,
dad called the
yeah.
cops and, said, I want to go over there, but I don't know what I might walk in on. And like basically saying, I don't know if I'm going to walk in on him hurting her or her not well. And then I might react, and
Right.
then there will be,
Yeah.
so I want to go and get her and the children, but I need the police to come with me because I don't know what I might be walking into. And they asked, does he have weapons? And he said, yeah, he knows of like 4 weapons, like assault rifles and stuff like that, that Ryan has. So
Yeah.
he's definitely got weapons
It's a
at the
scary,
house. And it's
yeah, and that's a scary situation because knowing that he's not in his right state of mind, and that's anybody. It just, it scares me. Knowing someone's not in the right state of mind and armed, that's how accidents happen. That's how things happen. So I really just, my heart just goes out to that whole situation, and to all of them involved. I hope that Ryan is okay and safe and gets the help that he needs, whatever that looks like for him,
right.
because it's obvious that he needs some sort of help.
Yeah.
And Mackenzie and the kids, especially, I hope that they're safe wherever they may be. And I'm sure more and more is going to come out about this.
Well,
Uh,
tonight, Teen Mom comes on tonight, and Ryan's on this episode.
that's right. That's right. And I know you was telling me, oh gosh, and I'm going to have to tune in and watch it. But, um, it's just, Ron has always just made me, I've had this love hate type of relationship with watching him, because my heart does feel for him and what he's going through, but also he does a lot of stuff that's just unnecessary, uncalled for, crossing so many boundaries. And it's frustrating. It's just a frustrating situation altogether. But I'm definitely going to be tuning in to that one tonight. Let's see here. Not a good situation for anyone to be in, much less children. Absolutely, Amanda. I agree. Um, H does that to their fingers, because that, I mean, that could be possible. I do know that. Like, I had friends and stuff that really their hands were really. So I mean, it's possible, but like LB said, it could also be just him hitting things and them being, it could be so many things. It could be so many things. I hope Bentley isn't being bullied in school, because see, and that too, when it comes to the whole Teen Mom franchise, is the one thing that I really hate about it, because you know that they're known in those schools. So when
Yeah.
things like this happen, those kids probably do have fallout from that, and the kids saying things to them about it. And couldn't imagine being Bentley. Or, I don't know if any of his others are school aged yet, but nonetheless, either way, when they do become school age, like I know he's not necessarily um it's a sad situation because I know they're going to see it,
Yeah.
and it's going to be talked about. So my heart does definitely go out to the kids for sure.
Mhm.
I wanted to read some of the comments of like just some stuff that people were saying on that selfie that he posted, and he just posted this recently. Like this is his most recent selfie, if you want to call it that. And one person wrote, "Who keeps a gun magazine on their bathroom counter though?" Like, and that's really the question. It's it kind of it kind of has like the behavior of he's waiting for something to happen. Like
Mhm.
it's ready. Like he keeps
Yeah.
it in arm's length, you
My
know?
husband is like a gun enthusiast probably, but they're never out unless
Yeah,
he's cleaning
right.
them. If he's
Right.
cleaning them, then they're out. But he's at the table, he's cleaning them, the kids are in bed. Other than that, they're locked up. So it's really weird that he keeps a
Exactly. It
magazine.
is it's a strange situation. Another person said, um, that bathroom is giving single vibes. Chew gun magazine, low soap dispenser, multiple body sprays, empty soda cans, whatever the pink cartridge is. Yuck.
What is
It's
going on here?
yeah. And then just people talking about like all this different stuff they've seen in the picture. One person said, "I've never understood people who just leave their guns or especially just their clips laying out like that. Like, why does he even have that with him in the bathroom? It definitely is worrisome behavior," which I would agree. That's the main thing. It's not even the fact that he left it in the photo, it's the fact that it's there to begin with,
Yeah.
and it makes you question, like, is he going around everywhere he goes erratic like that, waiting for something to pop off?
And is he
um,
taking a gun with him wherever he goes? Like when
right.
he
And
ever goes somewhere, does he have a gun in the vehicle?
yep, and that's goes back to that saying of like, guns don't kill people, people kill people
Right.
type thing. And
Yeah.
I'm a firm believer in that without getting into it too much. I know people feel the way they feel, but I think that, any weapon can be dangerous in the wrong hands, but it's not the weapon's fault. It's the person's hands it's in. So yeah, I think that's everything with or everything that I know of with Ryan right now. And a lot's coming out on that, and it's just a heartbreaking, sad, scary situation for all of them involved. um Ron has demons and needs, well, yeah, I think he definitely does have some demons he needs to work through. Um, and hopefully, was he not going to therapy or something there for a while?
Yeah, I mean, the last reunion that he was on, I want to say him and
Oh,
Mackenzie said that they were. Um, Now, I don't know if you guys have watched a clip from tonight's episode, but it's on Instagram, and it had me almost in tears, because Ryan tears up, and he says that he says he has a lot of regret missing out on Bentley's life, and if he could do anything, he wish he could go back and put Bentley as a priority instead of himself. Um,
right.
Dr. B had to get up and bring him a tissue and kind of sit beside him and talk to him. And even Macy was starting to cry because that's the one time on what we're going to see tonight. It's actually over on Instagram. If you go to Instagram on Teen Mom Fans, they have a clip of it. It's like a 30-second clip where Dr. B is talking to Ryan and he tears up and he chokes up and
Oh,
he says that he just wishes he could have done better by Bentley. And he wishes that he would have put Bentley first as a priority rather than himself. And that's the first time I've heard him not blame Macy, not blame this person or that person, and just say, I wish I would have done it. And then you see clips of Jen in the background. And of course, Jen's back there crying. Macy's crying. And I was like, oh my
oh,
goodness. Yeah. So I can understand why Dr. B was like, I've seen a different side of Ryan, hearing him
yeah.
actually take accountability in that clip. But now, I feel like,
It's and I, like I said, I know people in my personal life that kind of it's like those demons can eat you up. They really can. The I should have done this, I should have done that different. If I had done this different, if you dwell in those things, it can really eat you alive. And I think that that's the situation with Ryan, is it has in a way. And I don't know. I think when you get to that place, it can feel like, well, why even try anymore? I'm just a mess up.
Yeah,
I'm just a loser. And you can fall into that cycle. And that's
absolutely.
a hard cycle to break.
Yeah,
So
I've heard
we,
that before.
yeah,
My older kid's dad has said that to me. My older kid's dad, like, well, they're almost grown now, and I've screwed up this much. Why even try anymore? And
yeah,
I'm like,
that's so,
my dad did not become a good dad until I was 18. And
yeah,
now he's like one of my best friends. So I'm like, I can attest that it's never too late. Ryan, I don't know if Ryan will ever even watch any of my videos or ever come across any of mine, but I would always say it's never too late.
never too late. If you wake up, it's a new day to start and try
Exactly.
again. Like you can't. And I same with my dad. My dad wasn't in my life until I was an adult, and
Yep.
he kind of dwelled on that whole like trying to treat me like I was a kid and wanting to make up for lost time and all this. And I'm like, we can't change any of that, but we can start from here
Right.
and have some sort of relationship. And it's a sad situation. I think that, I mean, I couldn't imagine it, because you would beat yourself up about it and everything, and it's kind of hard to get over or past that. But I think that dwelling in it does nothing but hurt you and the ones you love, when instead you can just make the best of it from that point forward. So I hope he gets help. I really, really do. And I'll continue following this. I know you will be too. So, and keep you guys updated and let you know what's going on. But I really do wish them nothing but the best.
Yeah.
So before we move on, let me see what you guys are saying. Macy will have lost all faith in Ryan at this point. I worry that his relationship with Bentley may be beyond repair after this latest arrest. Yeah, because I know Bentley was already at a very indifferent place with his dad. So I'm sure this definitely didn't help. And now, there was already that risk of being in danger around him. Now this, like, I don't know. I don't
I wouldn't
know.
let my kid go off with nobody that just got arrested. I wouldn't.
No,
Their dad
especially for those types of claims, or heck no. There's no way. And irreversible, like, I think he would have to do a lot of work and it would take a lot of time, like not weeks, maybe probably not even months,
right,
to for it to stick and really be like him showing like, hey, I'm done, I'm getting help, I'm whatever. But I'm sure we'll see that unfold too, in a season or two, because everything's always so delayed.
right.
um, but so you guys, and I know that's a little somber, but I thought we would go ahead and talk about that first, because that is like, it's really serious, and the rest of this is kind of more lighthearted. So thank I appreciate you like just catching me up on that, because I didn't even know. I had no idea. I just seen these bits and pieces, and it was already bad enough what I seen, but just hearing more context behind it, it's like, oh my goodness,
Definitely
it,
sad.
it's a lot. Amanda said kids are resilient, which is good and bad. It sucks. It sucks. Bulls. It sucks when a parent is in active addiction and not taking care of their responsibility. I agree.
Right.
I agree. Hey, Donna. So, okay, you guys. So, moving on into something a little bit more lighthearted. Recently, Christine Brown announced that okay, just a couple of weeks ago, before she announced that she was with this new dude, literally just a couple of weeks ago, she had announced she was dating again. She was online dating, and she was nervous about it, but excited. And 2 weeks later, she's with this guy named David, and he seems to be a catch, y'all. She has been posting him all over her social media, them dancing together. And on this one, she says that she's, grateful to have a dance partner or whatever. And you could just see how happy she is, which makes me very happy for her. That's all I've ever like in all of the sister wives. I would really love to see them be able to just be happy, even if that means not being with nobody, just being happy with themselves. So she has definitely been living it up with David, and he's an older. Well, I think they're pretty close to the same age, but he looks like he may be a little bit older, but not by a whole bunch. And look how happy they look. They just are so
So
happy.
happy.
And
Yeah.
I love it. I don't think I have ever seen Christine like that. Never with Cody. Never ever with Cody. Um,
Girl, she's glowing.
just being honest. Yeah.
She's
And
glowing.
it's so sweet and so precious. Then and of course the media has been eating it up every time they go anywhere and do anything. Paparazzi is out there taking pictures of them,
Yes.
showing. I found this video of the two of them. Hold on a second. On the Sun, which I'll source all of this after the live, y'all. But is this it? Yeah. And it's just them walking back from a date, and it's not the best quality, y'all, but it wasn't my fault, I promise.
I haven't even seen that.
Yeah, but Christine, look at him. He opens the door for her and everything.
I love that.
And you can tell that they were followed that whole night. So many different angles and pictures were taken of them. And they look at each other and kind of laugh and everything. But I thought it was super sweet that he opened the door for her. You could tell he's just really respectful, which is all we could hope for when it comes to her being with someone. I know that she's been saying for a while that she's been wanting to date again, and um everything. I think she always wanted to find her soulmate. I don't think her goal was to ever be single,
Yeah, right.
um but yeah, she just looks really happy, and I've been saying for a hot little minute that she looks so good. And I don't think he's a bad looking guy. I really don't think he's that bad of a looking dude. Um, on her first Instagram post, where she had kind of, let me get that picture up for y'all. This was the first. Oh, sorry, y'all. I'm so slow. I try to switch simultaneously, and it's always a pain in the butt. Let me go back up here. So, this was the first photo that she posted on. Hold on. I need a different there we go. Let me take this one down. There we go. So this was the first picture that she shared over on Instagram, and she captioned it saying, "I finally found the love of my life, David. The first time he held me close, it felt like my soul took its first breath. He's wonderful and kind, incredible with my children, and an adorable grandpa. I never dreamed that I could have found a love like this." And that's so sweet. It gives me cold chills. I don't know. I'm just like, it really does though. Um, so yeah, and then like I said, she posted those few photos of them dancing together and everything of that nature. And it's just been it's been a sweet thing watching it all unfold. Um, so I'm excited, and I wonder, my real question, because I know Sister Wives, a lot of people have been curious on if the show is going to continue and all of this, and um, Christine had said over on. It leads me to believe that yes, there will definitely be more seasons to come, because Christine had said over on social media that she had this whole studio that they set up so that she could film solo, and I don't think they would have went through all of that, you know, but I do think it's going to look quite different than what it does right now,
Mm-hmm.
or what it has looked like, should I say. And I don't know. I'm curious to see if he'll be brought onto the show, number
Yeah,
one.
he's on
Yeah.
there.
Oh, is he? Okay.
Yeah, he's on there because they had a Super Bowl party the other day and they posted photos and you could see the cameraman in the background. Pretty
Okay.
sure they were filming at the Super Bowl, and allegedly they've been together for a few months now, but
Yeah.
it's kept under wraps. So
She just kept it under wraps. And the way she did it was so ironic because she announced that she was dating again. And then 2 weeks,
who is
not even 2 weeks later, it's like, boom, you know?
it seems quick. I'm like, wow, that was quick, girl. You just started dating 2 weeks ago. Now you're in love, and your soul was breathing for the first time. Holy crap, that was quick. But yeah, apparently she really has been dating this guy for a few months. So
That's awesome.
I guess she had, from my understanding, she had to kind of line it up so it made sense in the show. Like whenever the show come
Right.
out, like they're gonna show her like going out on a date,
Yeah.
with this guy, and then it'll be like, bam, he's there, you
He's
know.
there, right.
Yeah,
Well, and that makes sense too. Like they I don't know how they do it. The same thing with pregnancies and different things, how they keep it under wraps because like paparazzi follows them everywhere. I mean, heck, since she's came out about it, they have been following her everywhere just
yeah,
to get pictures of the two of them together. So, but I could also see how like if things are kind of died down and the media and paparazzi don't know to even be looking, that
right.
you can kind of get away with it a little bit more.
Well, she said on one interview, I think it was People Magazine, not long after she left, they asked her, "Do you want to start dating again?" And she said, "Yeah, I want to, but I talked to, Truly, and Truly's not ready for it yet." So I think that kind of made the paparazzi be like, "Okay, well, we're not going to stalk her new house because she's not dating yet." But
Yeah,
of course, any wind that they got that she is dating, there they go are running, and
first
then
off the road, yep.
I
And
don't want
it's kind of crazy because I get it, like that's their job and everything, but it like I get it, and if it wasn't for them, we would have nothing to talk about because they're the ones that go out there and get the information. But also from Christine's perspective, I'm sure like you just get a system about it. You're like, okay, we don't tell nothing until we are completely ready, and there's everything's always scheduled where it's like, okay, this is going to happen with the show or whatever, and then I'll come out with
to.
this information. But I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. What was you going to say?
Right. Um, no, yeah, I just love that she has, because Christine to me has always seemed like one that needed that affectionate type of relationship. Like her love language is affection and attention. So it was wild that she stayed with Cody as long as she did because
Right.
he didn't give her attention. And Cody and Robin and Mary and all them like, oh, she's selfish. She's selfish. I'm like, first off, I think that hurt her soul. But the only reason she did it was for the kids, for the family, because she was looking at the bigger picture. I think she stayed in this family for years after Cody stopped being affectionate with her and clearly started showing one wife favoritism and like Christine said, I agreed to be a sister wife, but I agreed to be an equal too. And I think as long as he would have kept them all equal and show them all the same amount of attention, she would have stuck it out to her dying day
I
probably.
think you're right. I think you're right. Well, and plus she's no stranger to that lifestyle.
Right.
Like they say, she's a polygamous princess. Her family originates from polygamy and all of these things. And she's kind of like royalty in that life. So she was used to it. And I think with all of them, family and the family dynamic is so important to them, but being treated as equals and no one being put on a pedestal, that's important, and it got that way. I don't care, like they can at this point Cody can't even deny it. He don't even try no more, because there's no denying it. It's
He
but he
won't even
always
address it. When people's like,
yep.
so you got a favorite wife? Oh, I'm not talking about that. Because you can't deny it. You'll look like a liar.
Yep, you can't deny it, and he always makes excuses for it. Well, Robin's the one who does this and does that, and if they would do that, then it but that's he I think at somewhere along the way, he lost COVID is really where that huge turnaround was because the women, all the sister wives, started really not that they weren't before, they were always kind of independent, but when COVID happened, he stopped coming around like at all, barely. So they started having to do everything on their own. And there were certain things that they relied on Cody for and turn to Cody for, but it got to the point where they couldn't turn to him because he wasn't around. So I think that played a big part with Christine, Janelle, Mary, not so much, but with Christine and Janelle, I think that they seen, hey, I can do this on my own. He's over here putting Robin on a pedestal. This is not what I signed up for. I've tried, I've put in a good run. Janelle, even Janelle said, like, I know they're separated, but um, she was willing to try to make it work and stuff. Christine did that for years. I mean, we've seen Christine have issues with the dynamic and the way things have been running in that family for many seasons. So it's not like this was an overnight thing. Like Cody acts so surprised
Yeah.
by
It's really weird. He's like, I didn't know. She didn't say anything, just out of nowhere. But everybody else is like, she's been feeling this way. She's been feeling this way.
so long. Yeah, and so I'm glad that she got out of it, and I agree. I think a big part of that was the fact that when that dynamic changed and Cody just refused to see how he was putting Robin on this pedestal and expecting all of them to praise her, and that isn't what they signed up for. So I don't blame none of them. I've been rooting for them to leave Cody for a very long time.
Me too. And I'm not one to root for like divorce, which technically they weren't married anyways. But
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm a Christian and I'm like, you get married, you stick it out unless they cheat or they die or like they beat you. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm like one of those people, like, but I'm like over here like, leave him. Please
Yeah,
leave him.
leave. This is not.
Leave him.
Yeah, I agree. I'm the same way because it's number one, and I get this comment a lot from certain people. People will say something along the lines of like talking about the dynamic and everything, and talking about the marriage, because I'll say, not even thinking about it, I'll say a lot of times like his wife, they got divorced, and they're like, not really, it wasn't really a divorce, you can only have one. And I know people feel differently about it, but people will call that out a lot. But their spiritual divorce or whatever. And I know Christine was like, when she left. She didn't care about that. She didn't care to go through the whole process of the church and getting approval from the church. And I don't blame her. Um, I did not, hold on. I accidentally timed. I don't know if can the mods fix if you accidentally time someone out? I accidentally clicked on somebody and didn't even mean to. Or
Well,
will it just fix it?
blocked. Well, he'll come back in 5 minutes. They'll come back in
Okay.
5 minutes.
Okay.
They can
I
hear
didn't
you
even
though.
mean to
So
do that. I'm sorry.
Sean does it all the time on accident. He'll put his phone in his pocket and he'll start blocking people and timing people out. So he'll be
It's
like, "My
so
bad, I'm
easy to
sorry."
do. I'm so sorry.
Very
I'm
easy to
so
do.
sorry. But yeah, so I'm excited to see what future seasons are going to look like. And I do think that they're going to look quite different. The only storyline that I'm not quite sure of, because I think with Christine and with Janelle and even Robin and Cody, there's storylines there that they can continue. But with Mary, I don't know. I just don't see where they're going to go. Like, if I have a feeling like on this last season, we didn't see her a lot. We really did. Um, yeah, she was
They
still on the
say
show and
she's not.
everything.
They say she's not going to be in the next season that much.
That's
Yeah.
what I was curious about, because she really wasn't that much in this one, other than family meetings. You would see like a split second of her. And I know like her mother passing away, different things like that, dealing with the breakfast place and everything. But there wasn't a lot. There really wasn't. And I am curious to see what's going to happen there. Like, I always think way up ahead of time, but I do wonder if Mary will remain on the show for much longer. Just because there's really not much there. And now with them separating and everything, themselves, I think that, yeah, I
Well,
just don't.
I think Mary's primarily in back in Utah, where the Airbnb is. She works there a good bit, and then she's been traveling a lot with her friends. And she posted a little video the other day, basically saying, "I do what I want to do now. Like I do what I want to do. I go where the wind blows me, basically." But I read through on the Sun that Mary, because they're already almost through filming next season, from my understanding.
Yeah.
And from what they're saying is Mary's not on there a lot just because she has no storyline. Hanging out
Hmm.
with friends, I mean,
Finding herself, I guess, because I know that was her big thing, talking about finding herself, and
yeah,
and I wish her the best. I hope that I hope she's able to do that and find happiness and everything, because I don't know when it comes to them separating and everything like that. In hindsight, they have been separated for so long. And Mary's just kind of been there for that family dynamic, I believe.
yeah.
But at some point, when that family dynamic is no more, I mean, yeah, the kids are still the kids and everything, but they don't get together like that. Everyone's went their own separate ways, you
Right.
know?
The only
So
child that Mary has with Cody has nothing to do with the family that much.
yeah,
So
yeah.
it's
And that's
not
the
like
thing.
it's
They
not
may
like
get together on Christmas or something once a year, and still probably now with the way things are, I don't know if they'll all be there for those things.
I don't think some of them will.
Yeah, I don't think so. Crystal said, I feel like she was ready to divorce after she was told they wouldn't move back to Utah. Yeah, I agree. I think that was a big turning point in her being like, okay, well, y'all don't care about my happiness. You could tell there was a lot of resentment there on that, because Cody would tell her one thing behind the scenes and then in front of everybody be like, no, I don't think it's a good idea. So it's kind of getting her hopes up for it.
Yeah.
Um,
I
and
think
that would
that did
suck.
it. That did it, knowing that they would not move back to Utah. And then when he did not come to Isabel's surgery, and she did that all on her own, and she realized, well, first off, I can do it on my own, and second off, she says, I lost all respect for him when he did not show up to Isabel's surgery. So
Yeah,
I think that was a big turning point as well.
I agree. I agree. I think it's a bunch of those little things like that that really played a big part. Let me see here. I'm going to see if I can fix this. It says he was only timed out, so hopefully they'll be able to come back. I always feel so bad. Hopefully it don't make it to where they can't come
It
in.
blocked for 5 minutes. So I think after 5 minutes, I know
Okay.
when Sean does it, he'll say, "Oh, I blocked somebody for 3 minutes," or, like, "I'm sorry, you'll be back in 3 minutes." Because I don't know if
Right.
they undo it, but after the 5 minutes, they should be able to come back.
Right. Okay. Okay. I just feel so bad about it. And I seen Amanda's hand. She couldn't unblock them. I'm so sorry. That's the first time I've done that, actually.
Sean
um,
used to do it all the time.
yeah. Well, and I hear other creators accidentally. It happened to me the other day. I was in someone's stream and they were just clicking on my message to like highlight it, and they ended up blocking me for so long. But I don't know how you can tell like the 3 minutes, 5 minutes. It didn't give me an option. It just did it. So I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Um, but I do apologize. I'm sorry. It wasn't nothing personal, I promise.
I was wondering what they did because I had seen their comment and it didn't seem, and then I seen that they were blocked. I'm like, oh, I must have missed something.
No, I didn't mean to. It was a complete accident. Okay, so with that, I think, and I do plan on doing like a quick little, like a short or something with just the cute little photos and all the different little videos that have came out with Christine, and I'll put it up there. But also, and I just seen this today because, like I said, I've been catching up with all this stuff. But Mama June had her wedding ceremony. Um, and she looked really good too. Like
Yes,
I thought she looked so pretty.
Mama
Um,
June
I'm
turned out nice.
she really, and her dress was gorgeous. I did a little short on it. I'm gonna try to pull that up. But so I think the main purpose on why they decided to do the ceremony was because they had just had the courthouse wedding type situation, and Pumpkin and Alana and them were able to be there, right?
So all of her girls walked her down the aisle. Pumpkin, Alana, and even the one that she was estranged from for a minute. Oh,
Mhm.
I always forget her name. Chickadee, Chickadee. Um,
That's right.
yeah, they all walked her down the aisle.
Yeah, I seen a lot of pictures. I didn't know they had all walked her down the aisle, but I seen all the pictures of them walking, just different pictures of them together. I'm gonna pull it up here really quick. Hopefully, it won't take just a second. But I want to show you guys because I didn't bring I didn't plan on talking about it. I didn't see it until today, but I was like, well, we might as well talk about it since it happened. And she's been sharing pictures all over Instagram. So I was shocked of how I like the pink hair, her
Yeah.
hair pink like that. I might have to mute my hold on. Mute the audio on it.
I was getting emails, and Mama June got married. I'm like, I know this. She got married last year.
I know. Well, and I said something to you, and I knew it too because I covered it. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
I'm like, what? Yeah, she got married last year, and because I got several emails, people telling me, and I'm like, yeah, I know. And then I went to look it up because I'm like, why is everybody telling me June got married? I know she got married, and then I realized she had like an actual wedding with,
Yeah.
the whole shebang. Wow, that looks good though. But yeah,
Yeah,
she,
they all look so good.
yeah,
Pumpkin, Alana, all of them look so good.
there they are walking her down the aisle right there. So that's a shot
Mhm.
of them walking her. She got married on the beach.
Yep, and they all look they clean up good, I'm telling you what. And then they got married on the 18th.
Yes.
Um and yeah, so that's the photos I seen today. And I just cannot get over her hair. I love that pink on her. The dress was beautiful. I wish you could see it there at the end, a full thing of her in her dress, but it was a beautiful
Yeah.
dress. I love the color story. I like how they added the pink in.
Yep.
And her hair was like really the only well, and Jessica's dress I see now, but I love it. I just love everything about it.
Yeah, and her daughter, like I said, her daughter that she hasn't really had the best relationship. They were kind of estranged for a while. Chickadee, she was there, and she walked June down the aisle as well. She was on the far left hand side, beside Alana, beside Alana.
Mhm.
But yeah, I mean, it looks great. It looks
That's who
really
I did notice just in that one picture because it's not the best picture of Chickadee, but you can tell. I think her and Pumpkin
nice.
really look a lot alike.
They do, because when I first seen it, I was like, "Oh, there's Pumpkin," and then I scanned down. I'm like,
Yeah,
"Wait, there's Pumpkin." I'm like, "Hold up, who's that?" Yeah, they look so much alike.
they really do. Because I thought the same thing. I was like, the only difference is Chickadee looks a little bit smaller. Because
Yep.
when I first looked at it, I was like, oh my goodness, Pumpkin's lost so much weight, which
Mhm.
she has, but
Yeah.
it looked like a substantial more amount.
Yeah. Right.
Um, so I figured I would just show you guys that really quick. It is on my channel in the shorts if y'all want to go check it out. But yeah, I seen that today. She's been sharing a lot of photos, and I think we may have talked about this the last time we talked about them, but I cannot, every time I look at Justin, I see Sugar Bear, like a Sugar Bear Jr. every single time I look at him.
What's even more is that Sugar Bear had his makeover. Him and Justin do kind of say they're kind of similar. Have you seen the photos of him like since his makeover? He looks
Yes.
a lot younger. Like he's got hair implants, he's got
Hmm.
teeth, and he got him a girlfriend. Sugar Bear got him a girlfriend. He got a job. Him and his
Yeah.
girlfriend just went on a cruise not too long ago. He's
Wow.
doing good too.
Ever since he got that makeover, like, because I remember that whole situation, and he looked so different. Now, of course, they don't look identical, but there
Right.
are some similarities there for sure.
Well,
And
like
a
every
side
later.
profile, like they look a lot alike.
They
They
look
really
like
do.
brothers or something.
Yeah, like Justin could be his younger brother.
Yes.
So, but yeah, so I just wanted to kind of talk about that for a minute and share that with you guys because I didn't even know about it. Like, I just seen it today and I had seen yesterday, and of course, I congratulated her and said, congratulations. Mama June, what I will say about Mama June is I've given her positive criticism in the past several times, but she is so, even though she's this reality TV star and all these things, she really is very down to earth, and she doesn't like, you could tell like when her ego gets pumped up about certain things and she kind of holds herself to the standard, but she will talk to anybody, like literally talk to anybody. I reached out to her several months back just to get like a statement on something. And she reached right back out to me, like it was nothing. And a lot of those types of celebrities and reality TV stars won't give you the time of day. You know what I mean? So the fact that you can just tell she's kind of more down to earth like that. And I'd say that about all of them. Pumpkin, Alana, they're just regular people. They don't
Yeah.
look at themselves as anything fancy,
Right.
so to speak.
I've talked to Pumpkin, and she was so nice. I've talked to Gino, Pumpkin. I haven't talked to June. Not that I don't think so, but I've talked to um, Pumpkin and Gino, and they were both just super down to earth. Really nice.
Yeah, I bet so. I bet so. I thought about going to the meet and greet that they had in Georgia that I heard went really bad. But I was almost went to that. And then last minute I didn't, because I would love to meet them. I would love to,
Oh,
on social media and everything that they do, they're the exact same, whether it's on the show or it's on there, they're the exact same. And that's why I like the show. I mean, yeah, there's crazy things that happen and all that, and that's what makes the show,
yeah.
but I love their down to earth personality, and that's really what sells me on. That's why I keep watching it, because they are like that. They're not anything fancy, they
Right.
got their southern accents and everything.
Like when you watch the Kardashians, it's like you'll never be that. I know
Yeah,
I'm watching, I'm like, that's a dream. I'll never get to that point. But when you watch like, Mama June, you're like, that's
right.
like my neighbors.
So
That's like where I
relatable.
live. People
Yeah,
around here like just like that, or like this is like my family acts like that. It's like it's
yeah,
very normal. That's like real normal people. Um,
yeah,
versus, when I watch some shows, I'm like, yeah, I'll never that I don't know. That's just fantasy land over there. But then you watch other shows where you're
mhm.
like, that's normal.
Yeah, and that's what I like about it. And I don't know about you, but I have a thing for watching dysfunctional stuff, like dysfunctional families. It's my family's dysfunctional, you know what I mean? So I guess it's just that relatable aspect and entertaining in that way. Speaking of dysfunction, before we go, I know we've been on for a few minutes. Have you, another creator I've seen talk about this, and it put me down a rabbit hole, okay? Have you heard of the new show on TLC called MILF Manor?
What?
MILF Manor?
No,
Okay.
I don't think so.
So let me tell you, I'm just going to tell you a little bit about the show, and then you can go check it out for yourself, because I heard someone talking about it the other day and I had to go watch it. It's
I feel
that
like I should be
dysfunction.
on this show. I don't know. Continue.
Well, and the concept itself is, of course, middle-aged women who have raised their kids, all of this, and they go on a dating show, right? And
Okay.
that's the whole aspect, okay? But when they get there, oh my God, they don't know they're dating nothing. And when the guys come, they blindfold the middle-aged women, and it's their sons. So, for example, let's say you got Karen, Mindy, Cindy, Lindy, right? All these middle aged women, their sons come in. Well, Mindy's son is going to date Lindy, and Lindy's son's going to date Mindy.
Oh heck no. I'm thinking this is a show about MILFs, like, and I'm like the housewife, the MILF housewives. I'm like, that me. I feel like I could fit in there.
And
What?
the worst thing, and it's on TLC, of course it's on TLC, of course it is.
Trash TV.
Yeah, but the worst thing is, like, one of the first challenges that they do is, they blindfold the women and make them touch all the boys and pick out which one they think is their son.
That's gross. Because what if you're blindfolded? How do you're not touching the wrong parts of your? That's weird.
It's crazy, and it people are watching it like crazy. And of course, I had to go and like I don't know why, but I had to go and check it out. I just watched the first episode, and the first episode, like, or it's just a crazy show, girl. It's a crazy show. You should go check it out.
I
I'm
am. I
thinking
wrote it
about
down
maybe
because I'm
covering
checking
it more.
this.
But the thing is, the only thing about it is I know if I cover it, that gives attention to it. And like, I don't know. It's like on the verge of, it's just so wrong. I don't know. There's something about it that's
That's weird.
unethical, you
Yeah.
know, and I know how those shows work. So if it does really well for one season, it's going to keep going.
It's like that show Adopting an Adult. And there was like this one guy on there that had cheated on his wife with someone he wanted to adopt before, so she wouldn't allow him to adopt this girl. So then he started talking to this other girl who was pregnant,
Mhm.
and he moved her in, and he was really like on the poster that they were making to go pick her up. It was like, "Welcome to America. Where's my B?"
Oh my goodness.
You're really trying to adopt this child who's because it was this girl was like 19 or 20, pregnant, and she didn't have a family. So a lot of these adults did not have family. They didn't. And they just wanted to be adopted into a family, not to move in with them, to live with them, but to have a family. So
Right.
these stories were legit. And I even felt for some of these. Like there was this two girls, they were sisters. Their parents were both addicts, really bad. So they were raised by their neighbor, but their neighbor never adopted them or anything. Then they got taken by the state and went into foster care, right? So after they grew up and grew out of foster care, they reconnected with their neighbor who raised them for several years, basically. Um, and they didn't have anything to do with their mom or their dad because they were still like active addiction or whatever.
Yeah.
They wanted to be adopted by the neighbor who raised them because that's who they felt like was the only mother and father figure they had. So that was like a legit story for me. I'm like, I felt that one. But
Yeah.
there was others that was just like so on that line of like,
Unethical, like something.
unethical. Yes.
And that's how this show is. Like, I had to see it for myself to see if it was how bad it was, because that's just a thing I do to myself. I don't know why I do it to myself, but I do. And it's bad. So,
I'm
but
gonna check it out because I'm like that too. I'm like, I gotta
yeah,
see.
it's like you have to see it, and there I don't know, but anyways, I think a lot of people have been watching it. A lot of people seem to be into it because I don't know, there's something about that kind of crazy dysfunction. There was another show that was about the polygamous lifestyle, and I cannot remember what it was called. But usually they do it from the perspective of seeking sister wife type situation. But this time, what
Seeking
this one was called, yeah, it was the woman, and she had two guys that she was married to, and they had originally been really good friends. She was married to one, had children with that one, and then fell in love with his best friend, and they got married, and it was just like a whole thing. They had children and didn't, like, all this whole situation with the kids of, well, which one's mine, having to do a DNA. It's just a lot, and it can be like, it feels very unethical and very dysfunctional, but people have these different crazy lifestyles. But with
yeah,
these reality shows, they're constantly, especially TLC, they are the worst of, they stretch the limits. They do it
yeah,
all, and I didn't know this, which is so stupid that I didn't know this, but the channel is, TLC stands for the Learning Channel.
yes. Their learning channel. What are we learning?
I'm like, what? What? Like, of all the things, what? So, yeah, that one's a crazy one, and but it seems to be doing really good in the views. And I wanted to mention it before we got off here because I didn't know if you had heard of it or not.
I'm not. I've not, but now I gotta check it out.
Yeah, it's a, and I don't, like I said, I haven't got past the first episode. I fell asleep, but I just was just shocked by it. And I heard someone talking about it the other day. I couldn't believe it. I was like, there's no way, because there is not enough money in this world that would make me do no craziness like that. Nothing. Like, I'm sorry. And from what I gather, what I will say is the mothers did not know what they had signed up for, allegedly. Allegedly. So when they got there and this whole situation happens, they didn't know that it was going to be their sons coming in and stuff.
I would have walked off. I would have grabbed my Kim like we're leaving, babe, because we're
Yeah.
not. You're no, we're not doing this.
Yeah.
You ain't
But,
dating no. You ain't dating no middle-aged woman. Let's go home.
yeah, and the challenge of having to touch, no, what, like, that is your son. Just the thought of having to do it to pick, no, 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 no. That's what I mean is the unethical part. Challenges like that, that's you're pushing the limits at that point. Like that's not cool.
Yeah,
um,
I would be. I wouldn't want to see. I wouldn't want to be trying to figure. I mean,
mm-mm.
that's just weird. That's just weird.
Like if it was just maybe their face or something, but no, it's too much. TLC does too much, dude. They always have, and they're getting crazier and crazier with the content
That's
that
where
they
the
put out.
money is.
Yep,
Is you know.
that's where it
Even
is.
on YouTube. Even on YouTube.
It's the same way. Yep,
I
it
tell my
is.
I'm like, man, there's people over there making $20,000, $30,000 a month, and they attack people. They cross these lines. They're just trash
Yes,
creators,
I
and
agree.
they are over there making a killing. While
It's
people that stick to their morals and their ethics and they don't cross those lines because they remember the people that they cover are human beings as well. They're over there just struggling and working their butt off. But
yeah,
it's the same way. I mean, we
I
like a good train wreck, so other people do as well. I mean,
agree.
and that's just
But and that's the thing is I'm all for a little bit of drama, a little bit of pettiness, a little bit of a train, but there are like I do have morals, so I'm not going to sit and watch someone's personal life be attacked or put in danger and call
right.
that entertainment. That's just not entertaining to me because I do like I see everyone as people, and even if I don't know them, it breaks my heart and it happens way too often on the internet in general.
Yes.
Like people want to automatically go to those personal below the belt, like let me drag your whole family type stuff, and it's insane.
Well, it's just like with Christine's new boyfriend. I mean, she announced her new boyfriend for all of 2 seconds, and there's people out there digging into this man, talking about his wife who passed away, talking about the fact that he was in bankruptcy, talking about his business, and I'm like, why would you do that?
Yeah,
Why
it's
would you do that?
I think it's became so because it's not always been that bad. Like I've been here for about going on 3 years now. And when I first came here, maybe it was, and I just didn't know it. Maybe I was just really naive to it, but I didn't notice it, didn't see it like that. And now it's like no matter where you go, all of these things are happening in the media and, in different communities on YouTube, just everywhere. And I think that what I've said in my brain anyways is people done it, it got accepted, and now it's this acceptable behavior that everyone does because well nothing gets done about it, so they
Right.
can,
Yep.
and it's crazy. Like I wait for YouTube to step in or I wait for, someone to give a shit and they just never do.
Well, that's the thing is even creators that violate the guidelines, you report them and YouTube does nothing. And it's like, hold up,
Nothing.
this is against guidelines. I'm telling you that they did this and you don't do anything.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
the craziest thing.
It really is. And unfortunately with YouTube, like, yeah, they've got YouTube managers and things like that, but it's not like you have someone you can reach out to and talk to in real. There's no like human resources or
Right.
HR situation that yes there is, but there isn't. They're so busy and they got so much going on that it could take weeks for them to get back with you, and it could be an automated type message.
Mhm.
So you just never know. But yeah, and I've noticed that again all over, just all over. And in everything, in the media, on the internet, Twitter, Instagram,
Everywhere.
every platform. And it makes it harder and harder for people who do have those morals they refuse to cross or whatever, not because you want to join in, but because you have to see it all the time. And you're like, you can kind of question, like, do I belong here? Like,
Yeah.
am I gonna make it? Like, is that what I'm supposed to do to make it?
Right.
'Cause I can't
Yes.
do that.
Right.
Oh, it's a lot. Unfortunately, all society think no matter what they do, it's okay. To live is to fight. To fight is to live. True, true. TLC used to have actual educational shows. I remember, but they realized that the other shows made more money. Yeah, yeah, yep. And I think every network's kind of like that. Once they go down that route of drama or reality TV type vibes, it kind of takes over the
Yeah.
network, you know. But I guess is there anything else you want to add, LB, or anything else you can think of?
Um, I don't think so, but I had so much fun. And
Yeah, it's been a good time. I always enjoy chatting with you. And if you want to some point this week or something, do over something over there, let me know because I'm free. We can definitely do that.
yeah.
Um, but yeah, people are always asking me, when are you guys going to collab? I have gotten so many emails and messages, comments of people really wanting us to do a podcast for
Oh my
months,
God, really?
for months and
Oh, can
months.
you
They're
do a
like, even
podcast?
if it's just a monthly thing, you guys have got to
I
do.
don't know how to do a podcast,
Yeah,
but I've been asked about that as well. Like people's like, why don't you do it? Why don't you and your husband do it? Like you should do it because I'm just a talker, and I can talk about
yeah,
whatever. I mean, I can talk about the sky, whatever. But people's emailed you about me. You doing a podcast? That's
yes,
really cool. I have
yes.
no idea how to do one, but
I,
that's really cool.
of everyone I've collabed with, quite a few different creators, and you're the one everyone, well, and they love all of them, but people do. They could continuously ask, when am I going to do something with you? When are we going to do something again? And I've gotten that about the podcast. And that's the only reason I haven't started one because I love to talk, but it's one of those things where it's such a process and there's so much work you have to put in and so much money of just all these different things to make it professional and legit, and
Yeah,
then all the different networks you got to put it on Spotify. Like, you don't have
I
to
don't know
do
how to do
everything.
that.
Yeah, you don't have to do that, but if you're gonna do a legit one, that's what people do. So
Yeah,
that's the only reason I've not done it, because there's just so much that goes into it.
yeah, I don't
um
do it. But I mean, I know it must. I know it's got to be probably difficult, but it's probably not like too hard because so many people do it.
yeah. Hmm. I
But
think I looked into the whole Spotify thing and that was pretty easy to set up, but I think it just kind of goes with your preference because I see some people that do podcasting and they literally do what we're doing right now. They just get on and they talk and that's call it a podcast. So it is whatever you want it to be. I just am such an overthinker. If I was to do something like that, I would want it to be the best it could be. So that's the only reason. But yeah, I mean, I always love chatting with you. If nothing else, maybe we can get together once a month or something, and just talk about stuff going on.
I have something to read to you from your thing.
Tell me.
Shanna says, Wildflower, I don't mean to interrupt you, but Jessica Kent just posted a video and your video is featured in it. I just wanted to let you know.
Oh my goodness. Are you kidding me? She just posted a video on her channel.
Yeah. If this is the
Well, I know what I'll be watching. I know
22,
what I'll be doing tonight.
22
Well,
minutes ago.
and I will say, yesterday a couple of days ago, I went and looked, and this is so off topic from reality TV. I don't know if you've been following what's going on with the Jessica Kent situation, but I went and checked out the subreddit because people have been talking about the Reddit, and I went and looked just the other day for the first time, and it was really bad. I'm not a big fan of the Reddit, but I was on there. People had tagged me all over with my videos of Jessica and stuff. And that's okay. Like if she wants to put, I'm sure, of course, I'm sure she's, not happy with the fact of people talking about it. And it's a really sensitive topic, but I've tried to do it with grace and understanding and be right,
That's
do it the
probably
right way.
Well,
Yeah,
first I want to say, I don't know who she is. When I saw that, I'm like, oh, that's cool. Somebody featured Wildflowers video. So let me look her up. And then I'm like, hold up. She's almost got 1 million followers. It's crazy. But
it's
I don't know. I
girl.
don't, what's going on with her?
So Jessica Kent is a creator that's been here for like 5, maybe longer years. She's been here a long time, and she's in several different communities. So she's in the prison reform community, mental health, recovery, and you know who Christina Randall is?
I do.
So that's how I found her, was through Christina Randall. Christina had done a lot of work with her in the past.
Yeah.
And at one point they had been really good friends. And then, she branched off, did her own channel, started doing prison stories. Just a quick little, I did do a video on it. When you get the chance, it'll catch you up on everything, honestly. But basically her story is she went to prison for drug and gun related charges back like a long time ago, before she ever did a channel. And while she was in jail, or doing her time, she found out she was pregnant, and she had to give birth while in the prison system.
Oh,
um,
wow.
and then, of course, 2 days after having the baby, she had to give the baby up, all of these things. And when she got out, she fought hard. She got her baby back. She did everything she was supposed to do. She went back and got her bachelor's degree in psychology, I believe, and something else, correctional something, and started a YouTube channel and became an advocate and started helping people in recovery, helping people get back on their feet, telling prison stories, like all kinds of different things like that. So it's a little mixture of, like I said, prison reform, mental health, recovery, the whole shebang. Well, recently, in the last couple of months, it's just been she's been going through a lot, and it's been a lot of drama. She was with this guy for over 7 years, and a couple months ago, she came out saying that he came out with some pretty serious DV claims against him, and showed clips of things that happened. um, and that was really sad, and a scary situation, and she was telling people about that. Then she was helping this influence another friend of hers, an influencer friend named Mindy. She had came to her house because, like I said, she's got credentials. She helps people in recovery when they want to recover. And this girl had relapsed. It was her friend. She came to Jessica's home to basically clean up, get back on her feet, and do the dang thing. Apparently, that isn't what happened. Instead, she got there, and there was a lot of things happening in Jessica's home, and a lot of stuff allegedly was happening that Jessica claims she doesn't do. And so text messages have been coming out, emails have been coming out, pictures of it, like all this stuff has been coming out. And Jessica has kind of had this erratic behavior where she initially responded and doubled down, said it wasn't true. This Mindy girl, she had kicked the Mindy girl out for using in her home. That's what she said. But then Mindy was like, oh no, girl, you're not going to talk all this smack about me, and just like let all the text messages out and let all this stuff out, and said, she's been lying to all of you. You guys, she's a liar. She's doing this, she's doing that. And it's a lot.
So
um,
Jessica
so
is not.
not good. Yeah. I don't think she's in a good head. I don't think she's in a good place right now. But I believe that she is. In the first 2 minutes, she records herself watching drama channels. Yes, your video is literally featured in like the first 2 minutes. She record yourself watching drama channels. Wow. That's as far as I got. Then I ran here.
So
Thank you.
Radiant Brit is featured in it, and so is on Another Housewife. I just saw that.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, I'm sure. And it doesn't surprise me at all. Like that's what happens, right? Like that's just what happens. But I did try to speak on it in a place as, because I've been a supporter of her. She's one of the only people that I've had a membership to here on YouTube. I followed her my whole extension of time here, and it's a lot. Like, to think someone is some one person, and then not, and look, we're human, we all make mistakes. It's not about her relapsing, it's not about any of that. It's not about, and I've said this 1,000 times, it's the lying to millions of people. It's the doubling down and lying to millions of
Yeah.
people. And I think there's a fine line there of holding someone accountable and saying, girl, we see you, we see what you're doing, and attacking them. And I would never do that. I would never attack. I would never judge her for relapsing. I really do wish her the best, but I had to talk about it as someone who has followed her all these years and seen like all of this stuff, a completely different narrative. Okay. And it's very deep rooted, girl. So
I'm about to watch it.
I'm not even covering it good now, but I did do a whole 20-minute video breaking it all down. Um, and I tried to do it, like I said, with grace and understanding and coming from the perspective as a supporter, watching all this kind of unfold and how difficult. And it's been a process. All last week, it was just like processing because more and more and more stuff was coming out on things that Jessica's been doing and things that Jessica has done. And it's like, she she really has been living two different kind of lives, and the reason it's such an issue is because number one, I mean, it's moving funny either way, but I think we are all a little bit different online, so it's not judging her for being different online, but
Right.
when you have a whole brand that is built off of transparency and authenticity and all of these things, and then to find out like that was just all bullshit in a sense, people are going to talk about that. And she's the one that opened up the can of worms. Like, I agree, none of the shit should have ever been online, but she's the one that brought it here. So it's like, what do? She brings this story, people rebuttal and say this isn't true, like people that she like her the guy that she was saying did all this stuff to her, and the best friend that she was saying relapsed in her home. Like, Jessica was the one that came on and said all this stuff about these people. They
And it
have the
looked
right.
like she's lying.
Yeah, and now they're saying, then they come public and say, no, she's a liar, I have the proof. And she's the one that kind of started it.
She should have kept her mouth shut.
Yeah,
I
and it
mean,
gets deep. It gets deep. Like, at this point, CPS is involved. It's really serious stuff. And, I've like, it's sad. Like, I really hope that she gets it together, but I have a feeling, I haven't even looked at the video yet, but I have a feeling it's going to be another video of her doubling down. And I hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong. I really do. She admitted she admitted she's still struggling with alcohol. Someone predicted that. Someone predicted that she would admit that. But Amanda, and I adore her, but I think it's at a point now where she can't not admit it,
you have to understand.
um, because so much has came out. Like, and I'm glad like she's being honest about that. And I hope that really is all it is. And even if it's not, again, it's not about that. It's not about those things. I just, from a personal place, I really do hope she's okay. I don't think any of us really know the extent of any of this. And I hate that they've brought it online like this, because it opens it up to people to talk about it. People who watch it and realize things or see red flags, they're going to talk about it. Commentate. That's what commentators do. Um, so I've had a little bit of backlash from like her supporters being like, but that's what we do. And I've tried to treat it. I'm not going to treat her any different than I would anyone else, but I'm also not going to be nasty about it. I'm going to cover it, talk about it, but I'm not going to be nasty. Um,
Right.
so it's a mess. She should know how bad having CPS involved can be. I do hope for the children that she gets herself to get. Me too. I do. I really, really do. And that would give me even more reason to not be online or be focused on the internet. But that's just me. Um, if CPS got caught on me because of internet related things or things happening, drama happening online, I just don't think that I would be on the internet, but that's
Right.
just me.
Take a break, maybe. Take a
Yeah,
break.
take a little bit of a break, but again, that's just me. But
Yeah.
anyway, you guys, that was a great way to end this stream, I swear. Um, uh, thank you for letting me know, Shayna. I do appreciate it. And LB, thank you again for coming on and chatting with me.
Yes.
It's always a good time, and I can't wait to do it again.
Right.
Y'all, before you leave, if you don't already follow LB, go check her out. She does true crime. She's got, like I said, it's scrolling at the bottom here. She's got a true crime channel. That's the LB one. And the Bash Chat is reality TV and, current news, things like that over there. So if you're interested in that, which I'm assuming you are if you're here, go check her out and show her some love. Leave this video or leave a thumbs up on this video, a comment. Let me know your thoughts and opinions on these topics. And yeah, I appreciate you guys so much for joining me, all of you in the chat. I hope you guys have a wonderful week and the replay. Thank you so much. I appreciate you to the moon and stars. And until the next one, bye.
Bye, everyone.
Have a good night, y'all.